Well, it's nice to be online at this moment, open webcast. Mark is here with his crew. My name is Kees Donkers. We represent today the Isocarp Young Planners program. We are here together for 2 days to discuss in the Meetup 2 the preparing of the Isocarp conference in October during the Dutch Design Week from the 19th till the 23rd of October. But we are here to prepare this with different people, different selected people already, selected young planners from, let's say, all over the world. But especially people that are here in Holland right now are able to come. So that's why we'd like to use internet to, let's say, people from all over the world can join what we are doing here. Not only for this moment, but also afterwards, because this will be online through Open Webcast. And people can be online too, but they also can download what is said today afterwards. So I think it's a big step for us to explore what we think about, very rural thoughts already, what happened here the last 2 days. That's what we're going to do this afternoon during this program. And you will hear some young people talking about their experiences, about their preparations for October, but also about their experiences, what to expect from October. We have a rough schedule for this afternoon. We start now with 2 or 3 presentations from specific topics that are lively among young people. The second part that will take about 1 hour. And then we will visit the site where we are here now, because this site is also very beautiful to see. A reused empty school for people to live in and to build their own community, more or less. And we will visit a place that's beautiful, a glass house, to talk also about agriculture, but also to get an impression about, let's say, a new society. That will be the second hour. Then we will come back and we will talk with the young planners to hear their experiences and their reactions from the last 2 days. So we'll have a short discussion about this too. And the fourth part of the afternoon will be some interviews with people that are responsible for what's going on here. Not only the general rapporteur at the end, Judith, but also other young planners who are able to talk about their personal experiences during this weekend. I'm happy to be here. I'm happy for Team 10 that they were able to arrange this. Maybe they can represent themselves too during the last part of the day. Because Team 10 is about 10 young people involved in the preparation of this program. Well, first we will start with 2 presentations. First one is for you. So I would like to invite you to come here to tell your story. It's already here.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Kees. I really feel honored today that I'm one of the speakers at this Isocarp conference, so I'm really feeling blessed. Thank you. Thank you, Team 10. We just had a really nice lunch, and probably many of you went also to the bathroom to use the toilet. Whom of you went to the toilet? You see, many hands raising up. But whom of you has also thought about that you are also flushing away very valuable nutrients just by drinking water? I don't see any hand anymore. Okay, that's the presentation about. Okay, how do we react when we flush away, in this case, very important materials away from the city? So it's also making a plan how we reinvent the city and its flows of materials. So it doesn't have to be a place with waste flows versus unhealthy situations. So there is also another way. As up to date, the city is a very unbalanced system. We can see the city as a human body. We eat, we drink, we excrete, we use energy to let us run. So the city has to run also during time. So we can say it has different topics in the city, like energy, air, waste, goods, people, sweet water, sand and clay, biota, and I will mainly focus on the food stream. So in history, the food system was really like a circular system, but on time the system became disrupted. The metabolism became disrupted. To my opinion, smart agriculture makes the invisible against visible, using valuable components for the food and the soil, and like the nutrients we use and in food, but also in our body to grow. Phosphorus, which is in our DNA and we also need for energy, and carbon, which we need for the structure also in the plants. So nutrients are essential elements for growing our food. But since the metabolism is disrupted, we see that these valuables are leaking to water and the air. So what is happening? Soil gets degraded, we miss our nutrients, we miss our organic materials, while at the same time farmers have also to increase their production. What they think in 2050 we have to feed about 9 million people worldwide. So how can we secure good food or healthy food while world population is increasing at a high speed? If you also take a look to these valuable nutrients, we can see that 2 of them are already in the top 4, carbon and nitrogen. But also phosphorus is a very important nutrient in our body system. If you even take a look further about what phosphorus is doing, phosphorus is a very valuable nutrient, like we saw already, but phosphorus has this. If this already leaked to the soil, we can't get it back. So once it is gone forever, so far. So this figure will show you the deficits and surpluses of phosphorus use worldwide. Mainly you think, oh, look at it, in the Netherlands, phosphorus is quite high. We have a lot of phosphorus. Yes, but it is gone because of our agricultural system. Every phosphorus went into our soils, which we can't get back at the moment. Last year, the International Agricultural Biennale in Rotterdam displayed a figure about how the phosphorus was flowing through the city of Rotterdam. What we can see over here is the main phosphorus supply is in the domestic food supply, which is running through this sewage water treatment system, and at the end will end up in the environment, or it is in asphalt, or it will end up in the energy companies. So our nutrients are collected, but are wasted. In short, we eat our nutrients, we excrete our nutrients, and at the end, our nutrients, which we find in our pee and poo, end up in asphalt or in energy companies, where they are buried forever. Although the city is an endless supplier from our nutrients. So what's the case? We have at the moment, we have now a linear value chain of nutrients. So it is up to us to make this linear chain going to a circular one. And that includes connecting the farmer again with the consumer. That one you can see, this is the red line. However, the red line is still under development. So that's why I'm here, talking to you urban planners, because we need to change this linear chain again to a circular system. And I think you urban planners are one of the most important people to make this change happening, because you plan the city. So I think let's come up together with a nice idea. Okay, connecting these very important streams in the city on a small scale and reuse is already happening worldwide, international and nationally. This is an example in Africa. You see a crop on the left side and a crop on the right side. The left one is grown on shit water. The right one is on pipe water. Well, if you see very carefully, the left one is almost 10 times bigger. So that is what our shit water can do. This is a project of CIMAVO, also in an African country, where they implemented a pee-poo bag, where the people just can poo and pee. And they leave the poo and the pee bags in the bags, but you see behind the kid, and they grow vegetables on it. So over here, they use our pee and poo as a kind of a fertilizer to grow food in, and which results in the increase of food security in these countries. I've also been to the Philippines. These are the kind of toilets they use. It's like a composting toilet where the urine and feces get separated, and they use it in the farmland or just in the backyard for, like this lady on the right side, for growing flowers. What I also saw in India is a very hard challenge in this country. Over here they have also a different kind of toilet. They have the squat pan, so not the sitting toilet like we used to use. So India is a different challenge. On the right, on top, I've been to an area where the woman got more incorporated in the project or in the program, and the woman really got a voice. And over here you saw really that pee and poo got used in agriculture, while it was really not on topic. Sanitation at all in India is not on topic. This is really a difficult topic in this country. However, this was in Africa or in developing countries in the southern part of the world. But also already in the northern part of the world, small things are happening already. Like in Germany, in a small village in Hamburg, they use compost toilets, and the grey water is flowing to the constructed wetland. Also over here in the Netherlands, we are also already collecting our urine. This is an example in Amsterdam, which is opened in 2013. I'm sorry. This is the very first project in the Netherlands so far I know, which got opened by a television personality and a CEO water board. Both of these people, they started to pee afterwards. The other males share their urine, which also contained the phosphorus. So what we see already many things happening already in Netherlands, Europe, other parts of the world. But at the moment, in Europe, most of them, they are most of related to safe energy and nutrients at the same time. To my opinion, is that just an intermediate solution? Because, like I said before, we have really a poor soil condition at the moment, where these nutrients has to go back to the soil again. So we have to link this up. So what I see at the moment is also, if you use urine and feces in an energy company, for example, the digester yeah, what you end up at the end of the process is of less quality. Or the struvite, what is now coming from the sewage water treatment plants, the struvite is also of less quality. Farmers are not really willing to use these products at the moment. That is what I hear from farmers right now. So I would like to say also, listen very carefully to your customer, to your farmer. What would like they have for kind of a product? You can come with a nice phosphorus, but in struvite, but if this phosphorus is of less quality and it is still not the quality what the farmer would like to have to increase his soil and also the food production, then we still have a challenge. So we see already our POO&P has a value. But what about our cities? How can we make our city happy? I would say go back to our basics. Make our buildings as a converter and put people inside the circle and not what we see right now happening. Put ourselves above everything. And our waste streams, what we see now, is just flowing away. Just put everything back in the city, make it a circular system. Involve the humans in a circular economy. So to create also a self-sustaining city. I have some food for thought for you as well. You can read them over here. However, I would like to thank you for your attention. So if you have any questions, you're more than welcome.
Nice. Maybe in the meantime, while she's preparing this presentation, I can show you a short movie that was made by students in St. Petersburg during a workshop of 2 days. Because we talked about it yesterday, that you, young planners, have a lot of skills, let's say, nowadays. So you should use them more broader than you do maybe already. It's not about drawing and about blueprinting anymore. It's also about other skills that you have. And this is an example of students that were thinking about the reuse of their city. To make this aware, like the Pee and Poo story, they thought about their city. St. Petersburg, we know the city as a city of palaces, about castles, but also about the modernistic history that is Russia. Russia has a lot of modernistic history. Sorry? Groot beeld.
Okay, I like to talk to you about Mushrooms, much more peaceful topic than what we just saw. My name is Doreen Westphal, and I became fascinated by growing mushrooms. And after that started, I read a few books. One of them is this one by Treat Cotter, Organic Mushroom Growing. And there's a certain chapter in there where he has developed a module, a mushroom rescue module. So when there are disasters happening anywhere in the world, how can we help really fast with food, but in a sustainable way, but also in a longer way. So not everybody sends a lot of money, but after some time all this money is gone and the people still don't have any food. So he developed this module where for $50 he has a mushroom rescue model. And he gives an exact planning of all the weeks and what to do in each week. And in week 8 to 11, he says that mushrooms will actually be growing.
Maybe you can be quiet. Sorry.
Yeah. And he made a calculation, and he also tested that in his farm. And he says after 11 weeks, we have 7,560 pounds of edible mushrooms. And this is all grown on local waste on an input of $50. So when I read that, I thought this is magic. And if we can produce food for poorer areas, what could it mean for the richer areas in the world? Because we produce a lot of food in the Netherlands also, but I think a lot of it is not produced in a sustainable way. So what can we do about that? And I wrote this proposal, which I would like to read out to you, to think different about production of food. So what's the challenge? Right now, within society, there is a momentum to reduce, not eliminate the consumption of meat. The awareness that healthy living requires a diverse menu next to growing concerns for animal welfare stimulates people to look for alternatives. Added to this, we have to face the fact that meat production contributes substantially to climate change by producing large amounts of methane, much more than we can handle in the Netherlands. Livestock is responsible for 37% of worldwide emission of methane, 65% of nitrogen dioxide, and 9% of carbon dioxide. On top of that, 64% of ammonia emission comes from livestock and is responsible for pollution of air, soil, and water, and damages the ozone layer. Diversification in our menu, more sustainable food production, both under good working conditions, is the key challenge for the years to come. Especially in a region like the southern Holland, Brabant-Limburg, with growing mega or even gigastalls, the urgency to diversify is big. How to build a sustainable and ethical food chain in the future? Mushrooms. We think that fungal culture, commonly known as mushrooms, holds part of the answer. The nutritious value of a mushroom lies between a piece of meat and the vegetable. It has a good amount of proteins, but not as much as meat, and it is rich of fibers comparable to those contained in tomatoes or cucumber or lettuce. So mushrooms are low fat, low sodium, and no cholesterol. And that is a diet which is actually recommended by the Dutch Food Center Foundation, the Stichting Voedingscentrum. Mushrooms can be grown on a variety of different local waste streams, like agricultural waste, such as wheat straw, husks, woodlot thinnings, like what we cut down in the green areas or in the parks, and sawdust, grains from local breweries. Right now, these grains are being fed to the animals, and they can actually, they find it hard to digest them, so they produce a lot of methane, which then is again bad for the environment. If we grow mushrooms on them before, the grains become sort of pre-digested, and the animals, they find it much easier to digest them. So we extend the circle a bit, but still nothing gets lost. I think we keep all the nutrients in the chain. or used coffee grounds. Actually, by making 1 cup of coffee, only 1% of the biomass is used, and 99% is still available. Right now, most of that is burned in our ovens. Therefore, the production of mushrooms has a low startup cost. There are many mushroom cultivation techniques fully adaptable to different conditions and spaces. Most gourmet mushrooms, unlike champignons, use odor-free substrates to grow. Since Brabant has already the highest champignon production in the Netherlands, it is the perfect region to introduce innovations in the mushroom industry. So today the Dutch mushroom industry is marked by 3 developments. First, the champignon market is saturated. Existing mushroom farms, mainly producing champignons, could easily raise production. Instead of doing so, they sometimes even lower it, because too many mushrooms on the market mean a low price, and they don't want that. Currently, there are some local initiatives that start to grow mushrooms, particularly on oyster mushrooms, in the city and mainly on used coffee grounds. They are small producers, but could potentially diversify the mushroom supply. And certainly a recent Rabobank sector scan concluded that even if worldwide the demand for mushrooms will increase, in the Netherlands the demand will stay more or less the same. We discussed this with Johan Baas from Wageningen University. He's from the mushroom department, and he had really one clear advice to us. He said, if you want to increase the mushroom consumption, you have to start at the market. So our plan, the 3 steps, is to first of all raise the awareness and start with a high visibility event to sensitize the population about the variety of taste and positive nutrition value and health benefits and the sustainable advantages of growing mushrooms. And second, broaden the market. Use the increased diversified supply of mushrooms to develop new delicious processed food. And 3, scale up, support and increase startups of more and more urban mushroom farms and create a network of all farmers. And together increase sustainable production and provide a large variety of fresh mushrooms. The involved people in this project, this project was initiated originally by me. I followed a few workshops by Antoni Gandia, which is plant biotech. He studied plant biotechnology and forest engineering, and I proposed this project to him, and then we decided to do this together because we share a passion for fungi, and we want to unfold and employ some of the uncountable possibilities fungi are holding for thousands of years for improving human life and mending the environment. A mushroom a day keeps the doctor away. There's actually a lot of research, and there's one great website which is called mushroomandhealth.com, which holds a large report on the health benefits of mushrooms. And there is a Worldwide Mushroom Association, and every year they do new research, and every year they add the research to the existing report and adapt it. So it's very up to date if you want to go on their website. And there's also a report, Nutritious Values of Champignons and Other Mushrooms, by Johan Baas and Anton Sonneberg, Wageningen again. They investigated and compared the nutritious values and health benefits of champignons, oyster mushrooms, and shiitake, and came to the conclusion there seems to be sufficient starting points to advise enhancement of mushroom consumption under the population, even to develop functional food based on mushrooms. So in April we visited Mr. Baas in Wageningen, and he was a great help and shared a lot of knowledge with us. So we felt encouraged with this project. Another point is mushrooms can be grown in a sustainable way. In the last years, all over Europe, first urban mushroom farms are being set up by enthusiastic people who want to upcycle different waste streams and grow mushrooms, also in cities. Examples are Cheetos Pilze in Berlin, Permafungi in Brussels, GrowCycle UK, Back to the Roots in the States, Rotterschwarm in Rotterdam, and Myphilia in Amsterdam. Mushrooms are well suited for urban farming enterprises. Firstly, they have a short production cycle. Some can even be harvested within 3 weeks after starting, instead of the 2 months required for most vegetable crops. Second, the production of mushrooms is flexible. It has easy to scale up production to meet an additional demand. And third, it reduces distribution time and increases the resilience of the community where it's grown. But the most attractive argument is that they use so much less space compared to other farming activities. In the Netherlands, there is no more land available for additional agriculture, but a farm can be located in empty cellars, old tram tunnels, or even next to a computer server building using the waste worms of the machines next door. The largest available spaces are, however, empty office buildings. And at the moment, we have up to 17 million square meters. That's like 30% of the existing office space in the Netherlands is unnecessary. That's an investigation by the Financial Dagblad. With mobile farms, we can use, if necessary temporary, empty office spaces or stores. So looking at our country, there is the opportunity to grow a huge amount of mushrooms. But what about the conventional existing mushroom farms? For decades, our country has been recognized internationally as the biggest exporter of mushrooms in Europe and the most technologically advanced producer in the world. But in 2014, we have half as much producers, about 120, than back in 2005. The largest reason is North Brabant with 57 companies. It is paradoxal, while demand of mushrooms is increasing worldwide, there are companies in the Netherlands going out of business. On the other hand, competitors are enlarging facilities and scaling up production, so in fact the overall produced amount of mushrooms is mainly the same. There's also a competition going on with the mushroom growers from Ireland and Poland. So do we need to grow more mushrooms in the Netherlands? Would offering more mushrooms not disturb the market and make the price drop? To solve the food challenge, I'm quoting now the Rabobank again, to solve the food challenge towards 2050, mushrooms can play an increasing role because they are forming a large source of proteins. Therefore, there is a significant chance that the worldwide consumption of mushrooms will rise vigorously. The Rabobank says in their advice for the mushroom growers, even though for the Netherlands the prediction is less enthusiastic and says we will eat more or less the same amount of champignons and maybe a few more other species. I don't agree. With this plan, we will take mushroom production to another level and we will transform local waste into tasty food with nutritional benefits and fertilizer. We will create jobs and support the local economy. We grow a decentral production network and support a weakened sector. And we will teach citizens about the biotechnological capacities and opportunities of fungi. We will collaborate with the food industry and develop processed fungi foods. Eat more mushrooms and eat less meat. So our first step is the awareness. We have to raise the awareness. And therefore we have this project. It's called 1 ton of waste is 300 kilos of delicious mushrooms. The Dutch Design Week in Eindhoven is the largest design event in the country, expecting 250,000 visitors for the upcoming edition. In the run-up to the next Dutch Design Week, we will collect 1 ton of local organic waste, coffee grounds from the restaurants, pruning waste from trimming the trees in the parks of Eindhoven, and grains from the local brewery. On this 1 ton of waste, we want to grow within 11 weeks at least 300 kilos of mushrooms. Ideally in the pink color, because it's the color of the Dutch Design Week. It's on the right. The Dutch Design Week will give us the perfect platform to generate interest for all benefits of mushroom consumption. During the week, we will hold lectures and give workshops for mushroom DIY. It's not do it yourself anymore, but grow it yourself anymore. Grow it yourself. But most important, we will turn the 300 kilo of fungi into tasty bites for people to try in a pop-up restaurant. And we will work hard to have first results for interesting, tasty barbecue foods and prepare this food also outside over an open fire. Through this event, we can create a discussion about the current challenges in food production, share our knowledge about mushroom farming and create attention for our first fungi food under the visitors and the press. So hopefully we will see you all in Eindhoven and you can have a taste of fungi futuri. Thank you very much.